to the NDIS building, a different one because apparently we were actually in the wrong one, but I'm going there to hopefully figure out some answers that I have, and hopefully I can bring you guys with me so that if you guys have any questions the same as I do, they will be answered today. So we'll see. It's actually raining today. It's so weird. It's blue sky, kind of. Disclaimer, Paw Patrol's on in the background. That's the only thing that's kept the kids actually quiet for the last hour driving. So I've just written down some questions and I will put them here now. So we just got home and I thought, while I'm getting changed into my comfy clothes, I will go through just what the lady and I talked about. We were probably there for like 10 minutes. All she had to do was photocopy my forms that I had filled out that I showed you guys in my last finally eligible video, and then she photocopied like some of the evidence that the doctor gave her. By the way, Alex drew on me and I haven't washed it off yet, so that's why I've got funny little lines and stuff. It almost looks like a flower. He's getting very clever with his drawings, but now he's discovered the art of it. He wants to draw on it. Anyway, did that. So again, this is the folder that I had from last week, and she just, yeah, as I said, just photocopied everything. Technically from today, it will take approximately 5 to 6 months for them to get back to me to say, yes, you're eligible, no, you're not, depending on what they see I need, if they think I need anything or not. All dressed. So as you guys saw, I posted the questions that I put forward to her before. Was how much will I get and how frequent would that payment come in? So she couldn't really answer that question very well because I hadn't been accepted yet, and I had to wait till I was accepted to find out how much I was eligible for and how frequent that money would come in. I suppose she did say that it depends on what I need it for like medical things or anything like that, new wheelchair, things like that. And she just said, when you're ready and you need that money, you'll put forward a form, I suppose, and then we will give that money out to whoever needs it. I'm just so glad I said that it doesn't affect, you know, my disability. It doesn't affect Stephen's carer's allowance. It doesn't affect, you know, our health insurance either. It doesn't affect anything like that. So for me, it looks like it will be medical needs, so any extra personal medical things that I need like at home. My new wheelchair, I did ask her that and she said yes, that they could help me with that, thank goodness. I do need a new wheelchair desperately. Like, this one is literally the side of my wheelchair, like the armrest on my right side, on this side, is actually held together with duct tape. So that's how desperately I need this new wheelchair. She just said once you've been approved, then you will get a letter to say you're approved. Someone will ring you and talk about your plan. Yes, I do, and I am so glad I do, for a number of reasons. Mainly, the number one reason is that every time I go to hospital, or every time I go to school, or every time I, you know, go for a job, or every time I'm out in the street and I'm like grocery shopping, like people are like, oh, do you need help? Do you need help? You can't do this because you're in a chair, and obviously you haven't got brains and you can't speak for yourself and things like that. And it's majority of the time it's actually in hospital, which is really sad to say. So next time, for all those able-bodied people out there, next time you're in a hospital going for an appointment, or your family member's in hospital, or you're in hospital, if you see someone in a wheelchair, just watch how the nurses react to that person. And if it's in a mean, demeaning way, maybe you could say something to that nurse and just think, you know, just say to them, you know, you realise you're not treating that person humanely because you're jumping to conclusions. You're jumping to the assumption that this person may not be able to do, just because that person can't walk, doesn't mean this person can't think for themselves, can't go and shower themselves, can't eat, can't speak, can't do anything for themselves, and back up that other person. Because trust me, if there was people out in the community, more people out in the community that would do that for me, especially like in this instance of like being in hospital, of course that would just make the whole hospital experience so much better for me, because then I could see someone understands. You know, nurses are just there to, you know, do your IVs and, you know, take you to the shower or take you to whatever. And able-bodied people would need that too if they've had a major operation, and that's fine. It's when it's just, they walk into the room and they look at the chair and then they look at you in bed, laying in bed, because the bottom half of me doesn't move. They assume the top of me can't move, and neither can my head. Like, I used to get that even in primary school. Like, and as I said, like, I've had this all through my life. I'm nearly 31 years old, and I still get this. And it's not just young people. It's older people. It's the older generation, like, people, you know, my mother and father, you know, in-laws age, and maybe even older, that don't understand, and don't really, I don't think, want to understand, and don't want to learn from somebody young that has a disability. They don't have the time to want to sit down and say, you know, what do you need and what do you want and things like that. So this plan, being able to actually have a say in it, is such a good thing for anybody. Even people obviously with the intellectual disability obviously won't be able to say what they need, but there's other ways of communicating what they do, and they will have a family member there, like they'll have a proxy there to say, this is what I've noticed and this is what needs to be done and this is what this person needs help with. Where me, I can sit down on the phone at the table and just say, right, I've thought about it for months, I've thought about it for weeks, I've thought about it for a couple of days, this is, and write a list and say, this is what I need. Maybe they might come up with a few ideas that I've never even thought of, but majority of the time that I've ever had these things done in my life, it's the doctors or the nurses or the person that is representing the business that I'm going through that will decide what I need, because they think they know what I need and they actually have no idea, because they see me maybe for 5 minutes, half an hour in my life seeing what I do, and then they're getting older, I'm realizing I do need more help. And it's taken me a long time to actually get this independent, and I'm losing it quicker than I think, and it's kind of a big shock. I think it's mostly probably to do with the fact that I've had 2 children and my body was never meant to do that, and it's kind of a shock. So we'll just see what happens. But I just wanted to say also too, I've just reached 150 followers, so I want to thank you everybody so much for following me, for commenting, for liking, for subscribing to my channel. The family and I really appreciate it, and I'm looking at doing maybe even more vlogs during the week, so it won't just be once a week now, it'll be more, so there will be more content coming. I don't know what that is yet, but it's coming. That is it, guys. On the end of this video, I will tag, hopefully, if this letter of acceptance comes before 5 months, I will tag it on the end of this video. Otherwise, there will be a part 3 to this video. I have to go and see what Alex is doing. He's very, very quiet, which in a toddler worries me, because he's not sleeping. He must be eating or playing quietly with his trucks or something. I don't know, he's never quiet, that kid. I thought Haley was a noisy kid, but he's like over the top. Boys, seriously, I've wanted them for so long. Like, I've always wanted boys, and he's just a boy's boy. Like, he loves getting muddy and wet, and yeah, he'll just walk around and doesn't care. and I'm kind of like, yes. Hey guys, so I am back. I explained on the last part of the video that if I was to receive a letter or a phone call to let me know like either how long it's going to take to get accepted with the NDIS, or if I have been accepted, that I would put this piece on. So yesterday on the 9th of February, it's Saturday today, I received a letter from NDIS and I have been accepted. Yay! It literally took 8 working days for them to get back to me. That's so amazing. Like, as I said, I was told it was going to take 5 to 6 months. So, because actually on the 1st of February they sent me a letter to say that they needed some more information from me. Oh, seriously, like, what more information can they get? But they wanted specific information about my disability. So when I was diagnosed, and what back then, almost 31 years ago, did they expect that I would need help for, and what I need help with now, the difference. So I went to the doctor, like literally that afternoon, like, because my doctor's not far at all, so it's pretty easy for me to zip on over there. And I gave it to the receptionist and said, you know, can you give this back to my GP, tell him NDIS want more information, and he didn't have it because I've only been with this particular doctor for 5 years and they only keep information, I think 7 years, I think he said. Then I had to ring the hospital where I was born and had to ask them for my birth records, pretty much, and everything it had to do with my spina bifida up for the first couple of months of my life. So then they were going to fax it to him. They did that, that was fine, and I haven't even gotten the paperwork back from my doctor yet. Like, I was literally going to get it yesterday afternoon, and that's when the letter came. So I was like, oh, I may as well not go and get it now. Like, I am just currently waiting for a phone call. That will hopefully come in a few days. I'm not entirely sure. They haven't really specified a date. They just said someone will ring you soon. In regards to like talking about my plan. By the way, thanks Mum for my new top. I absolutely love it. She picked it out at work today. I had to drop Hayley off this morning quite early. I had a bit of an emergency this morning with something medical that I needed to rush to hospital. Like, I'm fine, everything's fine. It can be dealt with at home, but we just needed some of the equipment. So like I was explaining earlier in this video, hopefully the NDIS can help with the money side of this, because this medical procedure I have to have done, which I may talk about later. I'm not sure I'm ready just yet to talk about this particular thing, but yeah, I have to have it done every 4 weeks. So the nurses at the like local doctor surgery used to do it, but they had so many stuff ups and things that I just asked them if they could train my husband, and they were happy with that. So it just means it's easier, because if something happens in the middle of the night or early in the morning on a Saturday when the place that I buy these medical things aren't open, it means if we've got stuff, obviously Steve can just do it. So it works out so much better, and I've never had a problem until this morning with him doing it. So we just had to rush up there, took Alex, and I thought, well, I didn't know how long we were going to be, so I just rang my mum and said, can you just watch Hayley for maybe half an hour, could be a couple of hours, I don't know. But yeah, the hospital was like, yep, that's fine, you can actually take this stuff home. So I was so glad about that. Yeah, because normally they make you wait, and you can be there for a really, really long time. Alright guys, I have to go inside, and the reason I'm outside again is because it's lunchtime and Alex is having a sleep, so it just makes it easier. My one piece of advice is, before you even go and sign that paperwork that I did for the first part of the NDIS stuff, go and get as much information you can on, you know, when your impairment happened, like whether it was a broken leg or broken neck or something like that. when it happened, or if you were born with it, go and get that information first, and go and get, you know, information from other companies if you're with them already, you know, like the wheelchair. Like if you need a wheelchair, if you need a walking frame, or you need something like that, go to the person that you get them from and say, you know, I need a letter sent to my doctor about what's happening, how long I'll need this, why I need this, and then he can put it all together. And so then when you go to him to get him to sign, or her to sign, the NDIS part that they have to sign, they've got it already. I will see you, it's not my birthday, the next vlog, it will be the one after that. So next week's vlog, I have a plan, so you guys will have to just wait and see. Alright guys, thanks for watching, bye.